want to try and take care of Bullet, but Astro and Cyber both are near. The challenge is being brought to Joystick as well, while Cyber tries to fall back just a slight bit. Joystick is in a very key position. If he manages to get the kill down, they have the opportunity to neutralize the vertical pressure that is there, but he's deciding to go off. They're just rushing the site right now. There's 3 off, so they can just go.
They've dug their way in. They're going to try and find the diffuser plant. A C4 goes round, but it doesn't quite get him. Always is lying down, desperately clutching it out. Bullet gets caught from a man underneath, distracted by everything going on above. A C4 pops off a little bit too late, but now it's just the Lion heading up the stairs, gets the first. Astro is going to stick it and hope the cover comes through, but it doesn't. And now it's Saito clutching it out. Welcome to Oregon.
There we have it. He's just starting it off right there, very casually, picking the fights one by one rather than letting him get.
Yep, still there. He can't quite get it. That's not its effective range. Its effective range is right in front of your face. But if they can pull this off, this could be a very big opener. It is such a dangerous dance Cyber is sticking to now, but look at the utility that's being thrown his way, and he gets a big bite out of Dan. It's locked off though. Souls and Astro are the ones that swing around either side. They came to the support of the man in the corner, and he's still dancing around blue Joystick. Creeps his way around, wants to try and win the fight above the stage. The E1D offers the support. It's a ping, and it's a body. Didn't know the drone was watching. They find one back, but it's still such a dangerous approach.
Very dangerous approach, and we saw how effective the FO12 is on the Oregon basement in the Giants game. Right here as well, putting up a lot of pressure, and there you have it. Cyber just going aggressive as soon as these flashbangs get tossed in. Leaving it all up to Joystick inside to now, trying to go for a 2v4 clutch situation. E1D pops up, but no one will be moving. As a piece of utility gets destroyed, the Banshee is gone, the C4 reigns in. That is going to be picking up Joystick and leaves it all up to Saito, who then gets the FO12 in front of him. Going to be able to respond to that quick enough, and that is going to be the return on the round, and FaZe to equalize the score. They have the showers control, as everybody should have, if you want to go for an execute on this spot. And as the long angles are being created, it is key and very important that those will be watched, because it seems like they want to plant right behind the couch.
Here comes the final 50 seconds, and there goes most of the wall. It's Astro that suffers and suffers further. Dropped as he tried to retreat back to a slightly safer spot, was playing dangerous by showers. They got him much quicker than they were able to take care of Cyber here, though. Lined up with still 3 frag grenades in pocket. They can go a bit deeper here. The catch could be the angles set up from the defenders. If they swing wide, we know FaZe like to swing back, but it's Shepard that finds the first ingress. Always digs up deep to offer some of the showers control to make sure they have some of the flat lateral coverage across the site and the plant point. With only 15 seconds, the spray comes out, showers goes down, but always, well, he's not popping up for anybody else's business. Sticks it just as he gets dropped the last second yet again. They find themselves a diffuser, but with Bullet the only one left standing from FaZe, he chases for a bit of aggression, suffers on the way out, could get the safe pick back up, but this grenade could be the maker there. There it goes. Shepard drops cameraman just as he was back to his feet, and it's just a steady bit of back to where he was before, but with 20 less seconds, a Gemini was the bait and play. Dan has no reason to go any deeper than he does here, waiting on the door. They've got to cross a very uncrossable big bit of dead land right in the middle here with so many angles and so many options. It's just a matter of them waiting and pushing, but at this point, they don't even have to.
Time's not even there. They still managed to pick up that final kill. Dan padding the stats there, but the round is the most important thing that gets brought up. The objective. Some lines are being created there by the Hibana, making sure that Attic, for example, will be unplayable. C4, however, will take care of the X-Kairos. Meaning that a new set will have to be used to try and get control off it. Always first, however, putting the pressure and the priority onto the actual bridge, because it will be important for the eventual plant. And as Cyber tries to take down a drone, it's just Joystick to go in. We'll be able to pick up one before he gets punished.
Didn't know somebody with that close in the rotate, but, well, now there's nobody left apart from Souls. Found himself isolated in the middle of the site. Trophy is where his head gets collected, and Empire find themselves that safety round in the middle, pushing their difference to 2.
Yeah.
Drop grenade is going to make it even worse. Is that 3 bodies inside Freezer?
No, there's 2 bodies, but there is 1 on the main stairs and 2 on that hatch. And while they're pulling out the Nitro now, trying to at least get a kill with it, And Empire really trying to put some pressure down. Unfortunately, some of these will not stick. The X-Carros, however, will be placed on the wall to try and create something. Joystick will be running in, picks up one before he gets traded out by Bullet. But that is at least a bit of an opening that they can work with.
Popping the shocks now as they have 30 seconds. They got to try and focus and formulate their plan and make sure it's the one that sticks. Diffuser down is their standard MO as it gets juggled towards Shepard. It looks like they're eyeing up this laundry cross. Astro, in the meantime, has a very cheeky angle here, waiting for a little bit to sliver through. There it is, doesn't quite get it, and suffers in the exchange, but with such a little amount of time left, it's the fight inside Laundry that takes the double, and Astro locks off FaZe. They still had the connections to the core of the site. They need a bit of a cross angle here. Joystick is technically isolated right now. There's no one in the immediate pickup without another blue body being the man in between.
Grenade being tossed in, that might land right behind. No, actually won't, but Dan will go down. Has been picked up, I believe, by Cameraman, who took a lot of damage himself as well. And the Secure will come in, the C4 will be used. The utility, but with 40 seconds left, it might just well be worth it, as Joystick right here will be trading the favor. Bullet will go down. Now we'll have that top floor control that is oh so valuable, but there's still the clash that they need to deal with. And if you look at the utility that is there is just not much to deal with, especially not if Cyber comes up.
As I said, Cyber was the man that was in the middle, rotating up steadily and slowly, able to bait that patience. There's the clash, grenaded, pushed back, but still standing, and that's the huge problem when you only have 10 seconds left. Sure, you've done a lot of damage to a lot of people, but you don't have vertical. You finally have another body with a grenade, but with that locked off upstairs and with no real route through, it's just a timeout on the round. 3-3, FaZe well played. The clash, a great adaptation that really scarpered and stunned the Empire.
Still running from left to right to north to south, and opening up these hatches they go for. Astro waiting to potentially go. That's a drop coming through the hatch.
Well, they're instantly into E-Box, and Souls finds the first as they flood their way through. Bullet accidentally drops Cameraman, and he's got the diffuser in a costly corner right now. Shepard swings back round elbow, leaves the man isolated as Dan takes back control of Pillar. It's a bit of an entire situation here as he finds himself in the middle of a whirlwind of Empire players. They battle back, and suddenly he's out of the situation, but he's watching from above as two remaining FaZe players are all that's left, still isolated, still with a lot of people to go through. They get the first though, and it's just a matter of seeing if they can dig through the next. The close corners on blue gets him and leaves only the Sophia. For all the setup they did and all the different angles, it came down to that drop and that man isolated, and a final kill or a trade even. Empire, a bit of a surprise. Astro's had to pull back. He's going to get droned. He's going to make sure Yana has a bit of intel. If they can take one more body from the back of the site, they might be able to do something, but always is very keen-eyed towards that side. Dan, very keen-eyed towards Trophy Door. It's Astro who makes the first move. He creeps his way through because Yana can't, gets one, gets ready for the trade, doesn't quite catch them though. It's Cameraman that needs to, and they do. A very important pick up there, but with Astro on the floor and one of the Monties being so low, it's down to the damage that can be done underneath. A minute though. Plenty of time to get him picked back up.
Where is Bullet? Bullet, he needs to push. He has the diffuser. He needs to go in. He's still in front of that window. Always is watching that from below. Just prone. Is going to be able to drop it there, but he doesn't know there's a second one. Maybe. Yes, he does know. He's trying to go for those shots, but will be failing to land them. And that means Cameraman now can go and try and push for that plant while Souls is holding off onto the white stairs. This is going to be making it very hard for Empire to retake, because that shield is going to be a pain to deal with. 40 seconds. Oh no, just an impact. This one left. He was really low on HP. Suddenly, it is Empire all back into this.
Yeah, so exceptionally low on health, but two of them are trying to take up white. They're jiggling. They went and got dropped on the first one. Cameraman pulls off. We've seen a body go underneath too. They've reclaimed verticality. Astro is under. Astro has a charge and always has such a little amount of health. He's dancing in such a dangerous game. They've blown it back open. New position. Where are you going, Astro? You've got to try and get this kill, Astro. You do, just though.
I was like, where are you running? What are you running to? He is defusing. Of course he will try.
I don't know exactly where he is, but it actually heads up white instead, trying to bait the play as Scyther is the first to suffer.
Now, use the gun 6 as Joystick gets the first kill. Astro will drop and always will find his second as Bullet now hits the deck, and Empire going to be completely dismantling FaZe right here. There is still Monty on the board to play with, and suddenly Empire are taking all these gunfights they can find, and they're winning them as well. Only leaving Souls and Cyber up to play. No more frag grenades, only 3 flashes, 5 canisters, and 18 sets of Exkyros. Not what they have available to them to make this happen, but a bit of utility still left on the defense. 4 impact, a nitro, 3 smoke canisters. It will be very hard for them to make sure that they win this round.
I think my biggest curiosity in that sort of attack was they knew where he was and we were calling it. We saw the motion, but Empire's response was, hey, listen, lads, I need a bit of a hand here. And suddenly they've got 2 other Empire players coming to support the single body inside server. Then they've entirely pulled themselves back up to the side. They're all across the top, and, well, suddenly it's Joystick popping off and locks it off on the top of white, and that was Empire responding to a problem and making sure the answer was entirely in
to try and get close to always, but just not the right angle. He will stay put right there in Harry Potter, and well, they will have to try and find a drone and see whether or not he really has been cleared out, because there might be some misinformation coming if they don't.
Well, here comes the hot drop down E-box. They found themselves in the middle of the Typhoon, but this time they're the ones that try and ride it all the way to the top dropped. As they try and swing down the back of the stairs too, it's trade for trade inside the site itself, but it's whoever can get that very important bit of land grab just in the middle. Harry Potter falls into the way of Dan, who's locked himself in for a triple. Make sure the pillar stays solid, and yet again, we find ourselves just with a Zafir inside Freezer as the only body left. A canister acts as a bit of a dampener on the time, pops a new route through. It's a 2 versus 1, but look where the diffuser is. He has such a long climb to try and make his way back around, gets an exit frag, but with 15 seconds, he doesn't have the time to get back and get that planted without being cut off in the meantime. Shepard's close, and he makes sure it's a rounded out round.
But the long angles are still there, and FaZe, they need to make sure that those will be covered, and I see no smokes available. I just see a couple of flashbangs that will be tossed in. Souls now going for that defuse, will be in the middle of their smoke and decides to stick it for a bit, losing a bit more HP than should have been necessary.
Yeah, he lost that decision, I think is the fairest way of putting it. Puts him in a really dangerous situation. They are now well aware that plant spot is watched. So FaZe, as you can see, they're starting to try and apply a bit more pressure around showers. Look at the Maverick though. Cyber is going back to the door that they opened at the very beginning of the round in the top left. He's going to get this smoke and say, well, you're paying attention here. I've got my smoke covered, and there goes Souls, and that diffuser gets dropped. They went for an adaptation. It didn't quite work. They went for a pickup, and they realized they can just stick it out. No, suffers even more. Iana has to pull back, has to give them a bit of ground, but with only 20 seconds, whatever they do has to come sooner rather than later. Scyther cuts one with Dan, making sure the balance stays in their favor inside that Zulu corridor. Cameraman goes for one last stick here and one last cover, makes it count, makes the double Astro, almost gets the triple, but it's Cameraman that keeps FaZe into that. They've decided not to go directly in. Maybe kitchen is where they want to make their first ideas known. Have the grenades that you can try and dig up underneath, cook them perfectly, and you'll have yourself a delicious kill. Around the corner in the back of dorms, they pop nobody, as there's nobody on that exact position here as a bit of a standard hold. Look at Cyber though, and look at Souls just trying to stick the plant. Shepard, he knows though, it gets dropped though from the swing around the opposite side. Joystick finds one more. The man upside down on the game's window realizes he's not playing a game he enjoys too much, tries to put a bit of a stun back, but suddenly it's a 5 versus 2. FaZe tried to go with something quick, sneaky, and aggressive, but Empire had the lockdown and all of the intel that made it pretty easy to swing their way back in and start dropping those players. And now they found themselves in a very tricky situation of 2 bodies, 1 minute, 1 diffuser, and 1 round away from losing this.
Yeah, definitely so. I believe I always had the opportunity to take it down from below as Joystick now goes aggressive, but didn't spot that bullet from the master bedroom. Is going to be able to bring it back at least a little bit, but a C4 might end that. No, Bullet stays alive for now. Cameraman putting in some pressure from below. 40 seconds in a 2v4 situation for you to try and play out. Always from below. It's going to be the first target, but he's going to be able to win his kill. It's up to Bullet now. A 1v4 clutch to keep them in the game, to push them to overtime and potentially secure yourselves a top 4 spot, but he is going to be taken out. Scyther gets their final kill. The GGs get called, and it is going to be an Empire game after all.